Welcome to today's episode of the Daily Coffee Pro by Mapper Forward, friends. So, you're thinking of hiring a coffee consultant and you're wondering how much it should cost you and how much people will charge you. It's a great question. And as much work as a consultant puts into getting hired, you should put into finding the right consultant for you. So I guess the place to start is, what are you looking for a consultant to do for you? And it's important for you as a potential client to understand very clearly what it is that you want to get out of your consulting relationship with your future intended consultant in the coffee industry. And so I want to give you some tips today on defining that and help you understand the kind of money you should be looking at spending on a consultant. When you approach starting to find a consultant, managing your expectations will help you be very clear on what you should get out of the relationship. It also depends on how much experience you have in the industry that you're going into. So I see a vast array of people approach Mapper Forward about consulting and are quite surprised at what's on offer, how much it costs, how much they get. Sometimes they're incredibly pleasantly surprised, and other times they're quite shocked at what it costs. And so you can gauge a lot from a client about what their expectations are. A lot of the time, they haven't put any work into knowing what it is that they want to get out of a potential relationship with a consultant in the coffee industry. So grab a pen and write a whole bunch of this stuff down. Now, the first thing that I want you to do is figure out what it is that you need from a consultant. For example, do you need them to help you come up with a menu for your cafe? That's something that you would be able to get a consultant to do in meeting you for an hour and then them going away for a couple of hours and putting things together and then presenting you with a draft of what they're thinking. You have another meeting to talk about that and figure out what changes you'd like to make. And then they end up giving you a deliverable, and you need to understand, what do you want that deliverable to be? Is it just a written down menu, or does that then go to a next phase of the consulting where what they are going to do is they're going to write down an ingredients list, they're going to write down the recipes for you, they're going to come and train your staff in how to make that? Or are they just coming up with a standardized menu? So if it's a coffee shop menu, are they going to come up with what your espresso based drinks are, what your slow bar drinks are going to be, what a couple of cold options are going to be, and that's it? Or are they going to go into a deep understanding of everything that's on your menu as well as the ingredients, come up with a signature drink, and then write out all of those recipes so that you can then hand them to your head barista or to your cafe manager and staff and go from there? As you can see, having a clear understanding on what it is that you need from this consulting relationship can result in different amounts of money that you will have to outlay in just one situation on a consulting relationship. Now, that's just one type of consulting relationship that you can have. A very common thing that I get asked is, I need to hire a consultant to help me open a cafe. And that's a really interesting question, which usually leads to an hour's discussion worth of questions that I have back to clients. So what is it specifically that you would like help in opening? How much experience you have in the industry? And what is it that you're looking to get out of this relationship by the end of that? Now, if you have never worked in the coffee industry, the output that you're going to need from that consultant is going to be greater than if you have worked in the industry. And I would suggest that rather than going on an hourly situation with a consultant like that, that you go on a monthly situation in that consulting relationship. And that's because the amount of contact you're going to need to have with that consultant is going to be frequent. So having an agreement with a consultant that there is going to be a monthly fee or a coaching fee, which is what we do at Mapper Forward, a one-on-one monthly coaching fee for a maximum number of hours with some kind of ancillary access as well. So for us, it's two 2-hour sessions per month, as well as constant text and email communication if you need to. And if I'm the consultant that you're hiring, I guarantee to get back to you within something like 12 hours, 24 hours max. Usually people just pick up the phone and call if it's that relationship. I've never had a disappointed client, and I'm proud to say that. But that's because we're very clear on what the discussion and the intended outcome of that is. So first of all, you're going to figure out exactly what it is that you need out of this relationship. And in going through that process, it needs to be concrete. And the next step is, how much access do I need to have to this consultant? Knowing how much access you need to have with them is going to help you communicate to a potential consultant what it is that you're looking for from the relationship. So if there's a consultant that says, I have a very rigid structure, we can sit down for an hour, you're going to pay me for an hourly session, and that's where it starts and it ends, may not be what you're looking for. It may be what you're looking for, but it may not be what you're looking for. If you're opening a cafe and you have no experience in how to do that, that's probably not going to work for you. If that's all you can afford and you would like some time with a specific consultant, go in there with a long list of questions and be ready to go shoot them off one after the other, after the other, after the other. See how far you get with that, and then perhaps book a second session. All right, so the next thing that you need to focus on is what it is that you need from them. Is it knowledge that you're looking for? Is it access to their network? Is it an understanding of the local suppliers and who are the best suppliers that you should be using? Is it an understanding of the entire industry and how to put together a bunch of relationships that can help you get a specific project off the ground? So this is really, really important. What specific skill set are you looking at in a particular consultant? Now, if you were to come to me and say, hey Lee, I need you to help me set up a roastery. The first thing that I would say to you is, when you want to set up a roastery, have you ever roasted coffee before? I cannot, because it's not in my wheelhouse, I cannot teach you how to roast coffee. Here is Ann Cooper's information. And we would set up a consulting relationship between you and Ann Cooper so that she could teach you, because she's fantastic at it, how to roast coffee. And she can do that online. And you can join one of our Mapper Forward consulting mastermind groups to make that more affordable. If you want to set up the business, as well as doing that, what we would start talking about is, what is your brand values? What are you offering? Have you got a space? Are you going to be using a co-roasting facility? All of these kinds of things. I'm going to get a map of all of the things that you've considered. The consultant that you hire, their superpower should be to show you all the things that you may not have considered. No matter what you're hiring them for. If you're bringing somebody on board to teach you how to put together a menu, they should be showing you the blind spots that you could anticipate in putting together a menu. So for example, what are if you're putting together a food menu and a coffee menu, how can you put that together so that it is the most cost effective for you so that you can minimize the number of ingredients that you have to source? So if you are coming into the coffee industry and have never put a menu together before, one common mistake that I see many people make is they want to have like a symphony of grinders behind the bar where they're going to offer a whole bunch of different single origin coffees. Now, that's a really old school way of doing things. A good consultant will say to you, first of all, let's look at a cost breakdown analysis for doing that and what the financial viability of that is going to be. And second of all, instead of getting a specific grinder for each one of the coffees that you're going to have in your store, how about we look at getting a EK so that you can pre-dose the different coffees and just run them through the same grinder. So these are the kinds of things that a good consultant will be able to point out as blind spots for you. To talk about specific dollar amounts that you should be paying for a consultant is going to vary, and it's going to vary based on their experience level. So if you're hiring somebody who is a brand new consultant and they've only been in the industry a few years, I would be looking at somewhere up to about a maximum of $50 an hour. If you're looking at somebody who has been in the industry for more than 5 years and is just very new into consulting but still has some consulting experience, I would be saying it somewhere around the $100 an hour mark. If it's somebody who is very experienced at being a consultant and has access to a vast network, and friends, the most valuable thing that a consultant can give you is access to a network and can fast track relationship building for you. And a consultant that can do all of those things for you and can help you fast track your business development is going to be somewhere upwards of $200 an hour. The more clout that they have, the more access to relationships they have and can fast track your access to knowledge and relationships, the more valuable they are and the return on investment will be. And the less rigid they're going to be in their ability to deliver. They'll always look to over-deliver. They won't say, this is all I can deliver you and that's it. They're well versed at how difficult it is to build a business, and they will go above and beyond to deliver for you. If you have any questions on hiring a consultant, get in contact with us, support@mapitforward.org, or you can contact us through our socials at imapitforward and through our website. And we'd love to help you no matter what it is that you need, whether we're the ones that you get consulting with or whether you have questions about hiring a specific consultant and you need some advice on how to proceed or whether you should proceed or not. But we can always help with anything that you need consulting help with. I hope that's been helpful. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.